Dzień dobry Państwa. Hello everyone. You know, it's not often in the life of any company that one goes through major change. And in the next year, we're going to go through some major change in terms of installing Horizon in Poland. Now, there's a few challenges that we face in this. Recently, Ecuador, our friends in South America, have incorporated the global template into what they're doing in their work on a daily basis with some added advantages. What Ecuador have put in is not the entire template that we would like for all of our SAB Miller family, but a large portion of it. However, the next phase is what we are being asked to do in Poland, and that's to do a more comprehensive installation or injunction of the new Horizon. The Horizon project as it is today involves a lot more than what has been installed in Ecuador. It's designed to add extra capability to the organization for us to be more successful in the market and in what we do on a day-to-day basis. Really what we're trying to do is to make sure that our organization has less bureaucracy, has more technological assistance, so that we can spend more time making our jobs more effective, making our brands stronger, and making our execution in market even better. It's also designed to ensure that everything else that happens in the organization, from the production of beer to the backroom work that has to be done to make sure that we run our business properly, is done in the most capable and effective manner. That's a huge challenge. But I think it's a challenge that the people in Poland, Kompania Piwowarska, are prepared to take on. Obviously, we can't do this on our own. We have both regional and international support to make sure that what we develop is something that is not only for Poland, but for all the other countries of SAB Miller worldwide. Now, as I said, it's a huge challenge, but you know, these are challenges that other parts of SAB Miller have taken on. Most of you know that recently I arrived here from Peru, and in Peru we did Project Genesis, in which case we actually looked at the front end on direct delivery and created a system both for ourselves and later on which went into Colombia and into Ecuador and is now going into Panama very soon, on how we actually do our front end selling, how we take orders, how we deliver orders, how we control the credit, what we do out in the marketplace, how we pass orders to distributors and third parties who do the transport on our behalf. And that's been rather successful. There's some very key numbers that have come through. The amount of work that the impressive work that has been done on telesales has given us huge benefit. But in addition to that, our control over working capital, our control over our cash, debt, etc., and our, in fact, even going as far as the level of stock and inventory that we hold has improved significantly, giving us massive working capital advantages. But I think the challenge for us in Poland is to take that even a step further. But it's not to redesign everything according to what we do, but to take on the great learnings from other parts of SAB Miller, what's been done in South Africa, what's been done in Latin America, and start up here in Europe what would be the final process perhaps for the whole of SAB Miller in terms of having a standard or standardized system worldwide. Now, try not to say standard system because not every country works the same. Not every country has the same route to market. Not every country has got the same challenges. And obviously not every country has got the same legal requirements. So there are adjustments from country to country that have to be diligently looked at. And the system has to be adjusted slightly for those. But that doesn't mean that we have to change the system completely simply to adopt to what we feel is right for us to do. What we have to look at is to have a system that is right for us to do worldwide, that gives us the best possible benefits that we can in our capability. Now, as we've started reviewing what we've got ready in the Horizon and what we still to develop for Horizon before launching in Poland, we've actually come across some issues. I think some of the things that we thought might have been entrenched and set down and solid and ready for implementation are not as ready as we hoped they would be. And in fact, as recent as last week, we were looking at some of the designs and some of the processes that we would like in place, realizing that perhaps what we've got designed or what we've set out to do is not the optimal. So we're taking a little bit of time now in the next couple of weeks to redefine some of these areas a bit better so that we can ensure that we do get the best possible benefits out of what we actually install towards the end of this year. In going through this process, I've been amazed by the fantastic team that we have in Poland. And I know at times it's been extremely frustrating, the fact that the program seems to be extending forever. We never seem to be getting to a point where we can actually go and install. I'm sure that for anybody who's been working on this project right from the beginning, they would most probably sit there and say, my gosh, this is absolutely astounding how long it takes and how much work and effort we've put into this, and yet we haven't got anything to show for it at this stage. And I'm very sympathetic to that view. But one has to make sure that the overall target of what we're trying to achieve is something that is going to be the best possible capability enhancer for SAB Miller as a whole. So this project is not about Poland. This project is about SAB Miller as a whole. And in taking into account what we need in SAB Miller as a whole, it will extend a little bit longer than might be what we were originally expecting in Poland. Kompania Piwowarska, though, has been part of SAB Miller for 15 years, and it's always been the biggest business in Europe. And so we represent an important part of our business. And as such, we have to make sure that A, what we put in place delivers for us, but B, at the same time, we need to be cognizant of our fellow countries in Europe and the rest of the world in ensuring that we don't install something that is uninstallable in any of the other countries. There's a little bit of time to reflect, to check that what we're doing is the right thing. The amount of money that SAB Miller is investing in this project is significant, and therefore the capability that we want out of this has got to be significant as well. There's no shortcuts. We just have to make sure that we deliver against what we install in a manner that actually pays for this project. That is, I think, is where the biggest challenge lies, and that's why recently we really looked at some of the aspects to make sure that they do take into account the greatest opportunities that are offered to us by technology. The regional team are extremely supportive of us, and in fact the global team are very supportive in this manner. And as very recently, the regional and global teams have merged a lot more to ensure that what we do in Poland is representative for the world. That might extend the time a little bit in terms of what we need to do between now and installation of the new system. But I think it's going to be to the benefit of everybody. These decisions are not taken lightly. These are taken at the top of the business, with our ExCom involved in these decisions, with long discussions as to what is best for the company. So it can't be for us to say whether they're wrong, right, or indifferent. And they're taking everything that we say into account, and then they're taking into account what is best for the business. And I have every confidence that what decisions are made are without doubt best for SAB Miller as a whole. The manufacturing team have also worked very, very tightly on this project to make sure that we draw the best benefits that we've identified in Europe in the process, making sure that we deliver against our quality and efficiency standards that we're trying to drive for within Europe and obviously in the rest of the world. I think I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank all of you who've worked so diligently and hard on this program. Without you, we'd be nowhere. You might sometimes look at us frustratingly as saying, well, are you just asking for something more? That's not the issue. The issue is, are we getting the best? Are we going to deliver the best? And but I would like to thank you. You have done an outstanding job. I'm proud of every person who's been involved in this situation. And I'm proud because the rest of the business is proud. There's nothing that makes me happier than when other people outside looking at us are saying, wonderful, great, what a wonderful job. That gives me the greatest benefit, or the greatest happiness. So I ask you, as you go forward, to have patience, to continue working hard, to make sure we test this product extremely well, because we want very, very little thing to go wrong once we install. We need to learn from what Ecuador have done, what's been done before in places like Peru and Colombia and the rollout of Genesis. We're going to learn from previous rollouts of SAP in places like the Czech Republic, here in Poland and in other parts of the world. We have to learn what has been done in South Africa, in the global template, to make sure that we incorporate all these learnings to ensure that we have the smoothest possible transfer into this new horizon. And some of you might have heard that I don't like the name Horizon, because the problem with the horizon is as you walk towards the horizon, it just keeps moving further and further away. And perhaps the name is one of the reasons why we're not getting to a conclusion. I think at this point I'd like you to start putting some pegs in that horizon so that as we walk towards it, it doesn't move on. That means we have to have an attitude of finality, an attitude of coming to a conclusion about making the decisions that are right for the business. And I trust every one of you will do that and will make sure that as we go through the testing, we'll make definitive decisions and come up with definitive solutions for us as we go forward. So once again, thank you very, very much for everything you've done. I wish you patience. I wish you luck. And you can be sure you've got 100% of my support, if not a little bit more than that, going forward. Good luck. Thanks very much.